Would that be fair? You'd understand that, yeah? So when we get called up and someone says, oh, we think we might have someone back to a bit suspiciously, as my colleague said, we're going to follow up on that, okay?
Yeah,
and we're going to do
that.
something about it. And that is for your protection, for our protection, and the rest of the community here. So what we want to be able to do is interact. Now, I appreciate other forces might be a bit more full on with how they deal with people and stuff like that. We're not. We just want to speak to people. We want to make sure, because most of the people we speak to do what you're doing, okay, are genuinely interested in what the surroundings are, because it's such an attractive or such a an unusual architectural interest. So we appreciate that, okay? But all we ask for is cooperation from people, not putting up barriers to bring them down. Say, okay, that's what you're doing. We've had a look at your pictures. That's fine. We understand that. You've been open with us.
Yeah.
We hopefully open with you, and we unfortunately have to do reports and stuff like that, and that's why we end up asking questions like who you are, etc.
Yeah.
But unless we do that, we're not doing our job, okay? So
Yeah.
I want you to understand that from the start. And as my colleague, I'm sure, has explained to you, all right? And I'm sure, from what you've said, you obviously know a lot about your rights and one thing and another. We're not here to put you on a database. We're not here to try and do that. All we're doing is trying to do our jobs, okay? I want you to understand that as well, okay?
Yeah.
So, that being said, whatever happens, we'll be making a report about this incident. You would have been on camera anyway, your image, your clothing and all the rest of it. So that will be there, and we'll follow up on that. However, you are quite right. We would like to take your details for our information and for our benefit.
It also helps in the future within the City of London, because we just say we spoke to Jay, whatever your surname is, who is of this person.
As I said, I'd still rather not give my details.
And that way you wouldn't get, they just say, what's your name, fella? And then you go, Jay, whatever. And we go, okay, you're the photographer who takes reflective pictures. If we don't do that, if we can't do that, well, rightly so you can't, we'll still have to make a record that we've spoken to you, and you'll have to remain whilst I type it into this machine, just so we make sure everything's correct. And you can see that I'm not adding extra bits to it. We'll do that. It'll just take a little bit longer without your name.
That's fine. I'd rather not give my
Do you wanna have a
details.
quick seat?
Am I being detained now?
We're just going to
Just for the purpose of making sure
that you're
we
happy
follow
with
through
what.
with
Right,
the job
okay,
we've
that's
done.
fine.
So you're,
All right.
you're not being detained as in, I'm detaining you because we suspect you of doing something wrong. It's because it's been, I suppose we do suspect something might have happened, but I think we're happy to a degree that looking at your pictures, actually, it is what you say it is. It's a general interest. I mean, I'm sure you've been to other parts of London or other, country or wherever it is, doing the same thing. Would that be right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as my colleague said, really, from the point of view of giving your name details,
Well, I'm part of a group that's photography is not a crime. So
right.
part
Is
of
that what it's
that,
called?
yeah,
I've not
part
heard
of that, we don't actually give our details unless
okay.
we're under arrest, because photography is not a crime, but it's under assumption that every time a photographer's up to something, they're up to a terrorist or they're doing reconnaissance work.